have a different kind of Bassmaster show. First, we're going to Lake Guntersville for the Alabama Invitational. And then we're going fishing with the winner and learn how, where, and why he did what he did to win. Then hang on, because you're going to see some of the most explosive topwater action ever. We're going to go rat fishing in the milfoil.
There he is. Ah, you see him?
Yeah, throw back in there.
There he is.
Fish.
Now that was mine there.
This is a pretty fair fish, Chuck.
And I'm Ray Scott for the Bassmasters, and we'll be right back.
Introducing new Prime Plus Co-Filament, the only fishing line that guarantees you'll catch more fish. Prime Plus is a line within a line with a new, stronger outer shield and a tough, sensitive inner core. Sensitive to feel more fish. Stronger to hook and fight more fish. New clear Prime Plus Co-Filament, the line within a line. Now guaranteed, you'll catch more fish or your money back. New Prime Plus from DuPont.
Well, Sophie, we're going to do all right with my new Remington 1187. See, now we can shoot light field loads and 3-inch magnums back to back, and I don't have to change a thing. That should help us get a few ducks in the freezer. Okay, girl? Now let's say you and I kick up some pheasants over at Johnson's place. Why, I can even get another barrel for deer. Of course, you got to stay home on that trip, Soph.
When you can't take every reel you need, take Abu Garcia's newest Cardinal, the 600 GT series. The all-in-one spinning reel with the right features for any type of fishing. Our unique auto pickup delivers line right to your finger for easy casting. The strike set feature lets you present live bait with no resistance, and a dual drag for control of hard-fighting fish. You simply won't find a better reel for the price. The Cardinal 600 GT series from Abu Garcia.
What has the highest contrast and the widest screen available? Hummingbird's new LCR 4x6. It maximizes your field of vision. A 6-inch widescreen for more information, plus split-screen features. And just 7 buttons for simple control, with your adjustments clearly displayed on the screen. Advanced technology has never been easier to use. Of course, like all LCRs, it's completely automatic and completely waterproof. New from Humminbird, the LCR 4x6.
Lake Guntersville, a 69,000-acre impoundment in northeast Alabama on the Tennessee River. This meandering body of water with sloughs and bays, backwaters and creeks is one of the greatest bass factories in the U.S. The lake is old and should be well past its prime for producing bass because most of the original cover is either gone or silted in. But Lake Guntersville has something going for it that keeps it right at the top for productivity. Milfoil, a weedy aquatic vegetation that provides cover for both baitfish and game fish. This $137,500 three-day Alabama Invitational is the 5th stop on the $2 million Bassmaster Tournament Trail. Following this tournament, there's only one left for these anglers to qualify for the 35 positions in the 1987 Bassmasters Classic. So for many here, this tournament is make it or break it time. It's spring in Alabama, and while there are still some bass on the beds, most of the fish being caught are in a post-spawn pattern, staging off the points and humps and channel banks in the milfoil. Most of these anglers are fishing submerged milfoil. The weedy growth sinks below the surface during the winter and then starts growing toward the surface in late spring and early summer. Although Tennessee's Charlie Ingram is pulling in the bass, his 21-pound 1-ounce stringer will be 1 pound 13 ounces lighter than first-day leader Ron Shearer's bag of bass. In Bassmaster tournament competition, it's foolhardy to pick a winner till the scales go down the last time. A good example is Ken Cook's performance the second day. The former Oklahoma fisheries biologist is one of the top pros in the country. He knows how to catch bass, and how to precisely cull his catch with the use of electronic scales to make sure the larger bass go in the live well. Cook's Catching and Culling Thursday allows him to weigh in the heaviest string of the day at 16 pounds 6 ounces and moves him from 12th to first place the second day. Watch Rick Clunn, the great Texas angler who won his first Bassmasters Classic World Championship right here on Lake Guntersville. Clunn's catch of 14 pounds 2 ounces, the 6th best of the day, moves him from 19th to 10th, only 3 pounds 3 ounces out of first. Clunn is fishing close to the weigh-in area, only about a 12-minute run. He's throwing rattle traps across the milfoil and scoring. And so is Ken Cook, who continues to work the banks of a large creek, hoping to catch and cull and win this tournament. But Rick Clunn has made his move.
3 times classic winner. Only man in history to do it on 2 occasions, year to year, back to back. Second all-time money winner. 27 pounds, 14 ounces when he started this morning. Today, 7 bass, and the scales, watch it as it moves, folks. You're seeing greatness in your face. 14 pounds, 8 ounces for Rick Clunn. Let's give him a good hand. Rick, what is it, man? You got magic. Let's talk about it later. I know you want to get off here. You're nervous that you're sitting there doing this. He's watching that scoreboard.
This tournament's 254 contestants put new numbers in the B.A.S.S record book. The most number of 7 bass limits ever caught in an invitational, 387. Second in most bass ever caught, 4,152. And third in most weight caught, 5,916 pounds and 7 ounces. The weight to determine the winner is short. Rick Clunn has won the Alabama Invitational and also set yet another record here at Guntersville. His $32,000 victory moves him into first place in the all-time B.A.S.S money standings with more than $317,000. Stay tuned as we go fishing with the winner and learn why and how he did what he did to win this tournament. The Bassmasters will be right back.
Ranger boat, nothing beats the feet another running the one known far and wide. Ranger boat, just ask a friend who owns one, he'll be glad to tell you why. If your time on the water's important to you, let those special moments come through. For peace of mind and quality too, nothing less than a Ranger will do. We still build them one at a time. Ranger boats.
You know, for over 20 years, the Bass Anglers Sportsman Society, America's #1 fishing organization, has been teaching fishermen how to become better bass anglers. And now you can have all that know-how in one convenient book, The Best of Bassmasters. That's right, originally published for our over 1.5 million bass members, it's now available for the first time to others through this special television offer. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned angler, you'll have the very best of bass fishing tactics and savvy from 20 years of Bassmaster magazine right at your fingertips. From mastering topwater baits to working that slinky plastic worm, it's all here in one spectacular encyclopedia of bass fishing. Plus, if you order now, I'll send you absolutely free The Book of the Black Bass, a reproduction of the very first book ever written on bass fishing, a $14.95 value. Call now to order. Here's how.
To order The Best of Bassmaster, available in regular or deluxe edition, and receive your free gift, The Book of the Black Bass, call toll-free 1-800-543-4100. That's 1-800-543-4100.
Not only is Rick Clunn the all-time B.A.S.S money winner, he's also the only angler to win 3 Bassmasters Classics, the World Championship of Professional Bass Angling. And in 106 Bassmaster tournaments, he's finished in the money 79 times. That's almost 75%. Rick Clunn is a pro's pro.
You know, this is a unique area. We've come out here we're about 12, 15 minutes from the weigh-in site. We've got a bait, a hot spot that you, not a hot spot, but a rattle trap that you use is one of your primary baits for this particular wind. And you rod and you reel. I want you to take this rig and I want you to give me just a brief demonstration for the folks that are curious about how you did it.
Well, this is probably my second best area that we're fishing. It's had the most fish on it that I was catching. And what we have here behind us is a point coming off the bank, and this point extends out and makes the underwater island out there. It's got this new growth of milfoil coming up on it. And these fish are in what I call a post-spawn stage. There's some of them spawning and there's some in the post-spawn. What I'd do in the mornings, I'd start this milfoil you can't see, so you have to see it on your depth finder. You'll see it coming up here. So in the mornings, I'd start on the outer edges of it with the rattle trap, and then I'd catch my fish out on the outer edges. But about 10 o'clock, that sun would get up and the water would get hot, the fish would actually move shallower, and I think that's what threw a lot of people off. They'd move up right on top of that hump out there and on top of those points. And so that's when I'd catch my better fish, when they moved up shallower, and I think a lot of people were backing off then when it was getting hot in the afternoon. But as you see, the milfoil is all within about 3 to 5 foot of the surface, and it's which I'll probably show you some different varieties of it here as you see. That's what we're looking for right there. It's what's hanging on the end of that lure. But every time you get that, about maybe 20th time you'll get a fish. There's been a ton of fish right here off this point, and I'd come in here and try to get a limit every day, and then go jump straight across the other side there and go for my bigger fish.
How long did it take you to catch that limit of bass this morning when you came out here?
I had a limit by 9:30 this morning, and first morning I had it by about 8:30, and then of course, as it always, it gets progressively a little harder to get the limit.
Why is that?
Well, mainly because you're putting pressure on the fish, and it always changes a little bit, and sometimes you sit there and go right back to an area that you've already caught all the fish off from, and then you got to readjust and go to your second area and to start getting back into the fish.
So this point that you're fishing, Ricky, the milfoil is growing from the bottom up to just a few feet from the surface, and you're running that bait up above, just on the very top of that milfoil. Am I right?
Right. It's all I try to do is, this is a high-speed reel, and I try to start it, and then I try to get I can feel the rattle trap vibrating, and I want to start feeling it just every once in a while tip that milfoil. And if I feel like I lose the milfoil, then I'll slow it down and let it drop back down. And a lot of times when you slow it down and it starts to fall a bit, it's when I'm getting the strike. Sometimes you jerk just because you're not sure what it is. There's a lot of milfoil out here.
By the way, what's your feeling about milfoil? And this is a very old reservoir, and milfoil has kind of crept in the last 15 or so years, and it seems like the fishing has become better. What's your attitude about milfoil?
Well, I'm a very avid fan of catch and release and proper management, but I don't think all the catch and release in the world and all the proper management and money spent in that area in the world is any good if you don't have good habitat. And in old lakes like Guntersville and a lot of our lakes in the country, there's only one habitat that really seems to hold its own and gives the proper amount of habitat, and that is aquatic vegetation. And that's why Guntersville is as good as it is. It's probably one of the best lakes as far as quantity and quality of fish in this part of the country, and it's due to the milfoil. The only other type of cover they have in this lake is old stumps, and there ain't too many of them left. They've silted in and rotted out, and without the milfoil, unfortunately, you wouldn't be the fish, And so I think ooh, now that was fish. But I've been doing that quite often in the tournament. Fortunately, I really thought today, the first fish strike I had today was a fish that I thought would go 6, and Jack made me, I fished with Jack Chancellor today, and he made me feel worse. He said it'd go 8 or 9. But she jumped and survived the jump, but then she dove into the grass and came off. So I had a lot to come back this morning. It took me about an hour to recover from that fish. Slowly but surely, the fish started to come, and this afternoon, I finally called my last 2 little ones.
Stay tuned for some heart-stopping action as the Bassmasters take you rat fishing in the milfoil. We'll be right back, you hear?
There's nothing like the pro fishing circuit to test the endurance of a fisherman or a trolling motor. But Motor Guide is built to beat the odds, no matter how tough. Because Motor Guide knows serious fishermen demand the best. A trolling motor that can take the worst. Motor Guide. Certified tough.
Stanley Jigs, the choice of champions. Jigs designed, tested, and fished by the best. Larry Nixon, 2-time winner of the Bassmasters Classic. Ricky Clunn, 3-time Bassmaster Classic champ. Tommy Martin, former Classic champ, and Lonnie Stanley, 1987 Megabucks champion. Stanley Jigs, multicolored weed guard, wide bite hook, tricolor skirts, and the all-new Metal Flake skirt. Stanley Jigs, they catch fish. Buy the innovation, not the imitation. Stanley Jigs, available at leading tackle stores.
Now it's fall on Lake Guntersville. The milfoil has grown up and is at its peak along the surface, creating a thick, almost impenetrable mat. The lake is being drawn down to winter pool, forcing the bass to leave the shallow bays and coves and move to areas nearer deep water. Heavy milfoil areas like this one next to the main Tennessee River channel. As you can see, the vegetation is dense and practically impossible to get a lure through, unless it's the rat. Pro bass angler David Yarborough from Gadsden, Alabama, is considered an expert on Guntersville and the other TVA lakes in the area. While he catches bass here year-round, fall is his favorite time because it's rat time. And the way his favorite lure came to be is a story in itself.
A good friend of mine, Lloyd Talent, came up with the idea of being able to get back into these areas to fish. He had to have a bait to do that. So he invented this bait some 10, 12 years ago, and the bait is just unique in that you can fish it around anything.
I tell you, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it where it'll go through. You know, usually people stay away from this kind of stuff even though they know the fish are in it, you know.
Sure.
When this moss started growing in here, we didn't have anything that would work on top. We tried spoons, and if they'll catch a fish, but if you have to stop it, it'll sink. And we needed something that would catch fish, and if you had a strike, it would stay there and maybe get him back for the second one. So we tried plastic, wood, and nothing seemed to work except a holler, rubber, or plastic. So I wasted a lot of time and finally got one that would work. And now I have this size plus about 2 larger and 1 smaller, and a popper. So, and they work real good. And the reason it's called a rat is because it looks like a rat.
Well, that was, you know, his primary concern was, and the idea came to mind that he fished in this particular area in Guntersville. These big fish would get in the hot summertime, they would get back and get under this matted stuff, and
A lot cooler under it.
yeah, right. And there's a lot of holes and stuff back under it. Where we're seeing the top is just laid over, there's a lot of holes back in it. And you could not get a bait in there to where those fish were at. So this idea came to mind to him, and it's just a unique bait.
Well, those weak of heart shouldn't fish it, should they?
No.
There's no question the rat can crawl its way across the thick, dense milfoil. And there's no question that bass like topwater critters. The only real question is whether an angler's nerves can handle it when the bass decides to dine on the rat, like here. Getting the rat to go out and fetch up a bass is no trick, nor is getting the bass to bite the rat a real problem. The challenge is hooking the fish. The average is about a 50% miss factor for every strike on the rat. That's the first problem. The second one is getting the fish to the boat. The second the strike occurs, the bass is back down in the thick stuff. A 3-pound bass could now weigh 10 pounds or more because of the attached milfoil. That's why rat fishermen use stiff, heavy-duty flipping rods and 20 to 30-pound test line. A trick to getting the fish to the boat is to set the hook, keep the rod high, and reel. Dropping the rod and pumping the fish won't work because the bass just goes deeper into the weeds every time pressure is released. There really isn't a lot to playing a rat-hooked bass because it's usually just a dead pull because of the weeds. The thrill is in the strike.
There he is.
Good fish.
All right, that's the fun part. You got him now, I believe.
Yeah, I got him. He's not that, thought he was better than that, though.
That's that one that blew up on me. I'll bet you. You know it?
Yep, he's not as good as I thought. We'll take him.
Thought that fish weighed 4 pounds.
I did too when he first come up.
He missed it. No, he missed it. He missed it. See, it's still sitting there.
Well, just let it sit there and twitch it. Let me turn the trolling motor around.
Sure enough, he knocked it clear out of the water.
Isn't that something? See, that's what we've been talking about all day long about. This is the only type bait that you can really put on top of this stuff and just stop it.
That thing climbed all over that bait.
You know, if you were fishing a spoon and stopped it on that strike, it'd sink.
Again, the strike is nerve-wracking.
No. Under my bait.
Behind it.
Fish. Decent fish.
Mine hit just the same time.
Now that's not the fish there, Chuck. It hit me just a minute ago.
You see the one come up under mine at the same time?
Oh yeah, this is a little bit better fish, Chuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hold him up. Oh yeah, you bet.
Pretty, ain't he?
Yep.
Look at that bear. Look at the girth on that fish.
Fat.
Oh, fat. Fish go 3.5 pounds, maybe.
Mine raised up and never would hit it.
And when the bass get into the rat-eating mood, there's action.
Got him?
Yeah, I got him.
Good?
I can't tell.
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
Pretty good
Pretty
fish.
good.
Pretty good fish, Chuck. Keep him up. Good job.
He got me in that stuff. Hope he didn't get off.
Just keep steady pressure and you'll be all right. I see the fish.
He's not bad, is he?
No, yeah, well, in all, he's good fish. Good chunky fish. Look at there. Yeah. Well, he got that thing down,
You think he didn't inhale that?
Good fish, Chuck. Way to go.
Fun. The rat strikes.
Again.
Again. Put some more cheese on it and send it back out.
But again, the 50% miss factor.
There you got him.
All right. It's a good one?
Hey, come off. Oh, me.
Well, that was neat, though, wasn't it? Huh?
All in all, rat fishing's a blast.
I think I'm going to come back when it's good. You know what?
You think you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know when they're biting and I'll be back.
Okay. Well, I want you to come back.
But I don't want to come back when it's slow like this. There he is.
Good fish.
Yep.
Good fish.
Look here.
Good fish. Keep him up. Way to go, Chuck.
I don't know how big he is, but
he's solid.
You gotta let me know, come here, fish, when they really turn on. You know what I mean?
I sure will, Chuck. You know, really, the big fish are not moving, but the real big fish. But I need to get you to come back when they're really turned on.
Well, he ate that one too, didn't he?
Sure did. And we'll have another good time. Isn't that something? Isn't it how aggressive they are?
Oh.
Just amazing, isn't it? How they'll blow through that thing.
I could learn to like this.
And now it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters, brought to you by A.C. Delco.
A rattle trap is basically it's actually a crankbait. It doesn't have a bill, so it confuses people. The bill is actually the shape of the head. The real key to the rattle trap are the hot spots type baits. The hot spot was the original. And to me, the best place for it is in vegetation. And the reason is because you can control the depth of the bait a lot better than you can most crankbaits, and it doesn't get fouled up as much. You can throw the bait out there, and if the grass is deep, you can drop your rod down here and slow it down. If the grass is shallow, then you can keep your rod high and speed it up. And so you can, until you just tip the top of the grass. And then if I lose it, then I'll drop it down until I start tipping the grass again. I just want to nick the top of the grass, and that's the real key to the rattle trap. It's not a hard bait. It casts easy in the wind, so it's not a hard bait from that point of view. Knowing, like any tool in fishing, knowing where to use it is really the key. What you see me jerk there is not strikes. What I'm doing is actually hitting milfoil and trying to pop it through the milfoil. A lot of your strikes will actually come when you hit the milfoil, you hit it and pop it through, and when it bursts free, the fish will sit there and eat it.
Nothing's going to put a snag in this fishing trip, not with Delco Voyager batteries on board. Deep cycling to take charge after charge to keep everything humming. We may get skunked, but not marooned, not with these built-in charge indicators.
Delco Voyager batteries, deep cycling, maintenance free.
I'd rather catch fish and get caught up a creek. For the AC Delco retailer nearest you, just give me a call at 1-800-AC-DELCO.
Rat fishing. If you haven't tried it, you're missing some